Chicago, me and you, kid! Yep! We gotta do it, kid! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Chicago!
Same play! Back right! Back right! What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in today. Episode number 5. We're here with Greg Siewers, longtime infamous fanboy and player, right?
You know it.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in again. If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you guys hit the share button, get more people in here, get some questions popping off for Greg. We only have about 45 minutes or so. That's my dog drinking water. And yeah, so we just wanted to jump on here and talk about a few things going on with Greg and how we miss paintball right now. And um, yeah, so how you doing, man?
Dude, I'm surviving, but I will say I'm like pent up angry. You know what I mean? I always make the joke that paintball makes me a nicer person Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And now I don't have that. So like I kind of want to bleed somebody out. I'm not gonna lie.
My wife definitely can agree to that. She's like, you know what? You should probably just go play some paintball this weekend. Get out, play some paintball. Is that what do you think you're missing the most right now?
It's like even this many years later, it's that little touch of adrenaline. You know what I mean? Just like that little toe to toe battle that kind of gets you going, gets your hair standing up on edge. Just I think that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That adrenaline rush. It's sometimes you can't really recreate that. You just get that with playing the game. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I miss just getting everybody together and um, competing and working on all those little things here and there to get better. And there's always something you can work on. So
Oh yeah. We were
that's
just
kind of
getting
how
back into the flow.
Yeah. Yep. We were talking about that a couple days ago when you jumped on as a surprise special guest. Uh, all those little things even though you played with the team before, there's still a whole different dynamic. So, um, getting back in the groove and getting all the guys together and vibing off each other for sure, which I feel like we had some great vibes going right away.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
1 second, real quick. Work these guys out.
Dog problems, life problems.
Yeah. That's what happens when you're stuck at home in your home office. You have kids running in and out, you have dogs, you got people cutting the grass, who knows? But yeah, I'm not sure. Do you hear a little echo at all, or is that just me?
That's just you. It's clear.
Okay. Let everybody know. Let me know in the chat if you guys are having any audio issues or anything like that. But so far we got a bunch of people in here just saying what's up to Greg. Yeah, so what we were watching that video for the intro, and I think it was, what year was that? Was that 2000?
12.
Was it 12 at the end of the 2012 season, or was it 2013? I can't remember.
So it was 12 because that's when we picked up all the Midwest guys, Damien and Brad and those guys.
Yeah. Let's talk a little history about about Infamous, and you jumping on with Infamous and what all that was about.
The history. So the history, I played for Infamous in 2011 and 2012. It was actually kind of a crazy jump because in 2011, it was still a time frame where you could play for two different teams in different leagues, so MPPL and PSP. And when I came down to try out for Infamous, John Richardson immediately made fun of me because I was actually wearing my camo like overall pack from having played the UWL event with Bob Long's team. And I was like, don't worry, dude. I don't suck. I promise. So
Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
Don't judge me. We hit it off right from the beginning because he was like, kid, you kind of get it, kid. I mean, I was a kid at the time.
Yeah.
You saw the shiny red hair in that video. 2011? Oh God, I don't know. How long ago was that? What is it? It's 2020? 9 years ago? I was 21, 20, 21?
Now it's a little silver on the side.
Yeah, it's getting a little gray, and it hasn't been cut in a while, so it's super crazy. But no, so 2011 was super cool because the Infamous roster was stacked with legends at the time, and not to say it's not now, right? But guys of the past, like the Rusty Glaze, Travis was still playing, John Richardson, all those dudes were still on the team, and they taught me a ton. We didn't finish as well as we had hoped, but it was kind of my first opportunity to play both leagues with one team, really like start to hone in. And then 2012 was the sweet year because we picked up the Midwest guys when some of the older dudes retired. And we went and won back-to-back Chicago events for a 7-man and then Chicago X-Ball. And the Chicago 7-man was actually my first U.S. tournament win ever.
Really? So I was going to bring up a photo of us. I was trying to dig through some of the archives of some of the images, but yeah, that was something I was going to talk to you about was, just playing those Chicago events and getting those back-to-back wins. It was pretty crazy. I mean, it was a blast. What do you remember most about that Chicago 7-man event?
So the Chicago, wow, look at that. Well, one, I remember they had beers on the field for us before we even got the trophy. Like they were
amazing.
on it. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was like sponsored by Budweiser. Or
yeah.
Maybe it was just CPX, but CPX was like our home field at the time. They took care of us. We would practice there, and they had 2 events in that same location, and they made it a great atmosphere for everybody.
Yeah, it was awesome. But I mean, that event was wild. What I remember most is all the overtime points. I think we were an overtime team, and we played 3-on-3 after 3-on-3 because that's what the format was at the time, right? And we played so many of them, including in the finals. But luckily we won the event because in the last point, we were playing Impact. The last point in the finals before overtime, Travis was behind me and he yelled at me and he's like, "Let's go, Greg," because we were winning. And I was looking at the clock like, we already won, dude. We already won. It's over. Not realizing we still needed that point. So he was about ready to strangle me, but it's okay. He put me back out there for the overtime. And we won with flying colors. I think Bobby got shot early, but then we shot one of the Impact guys off the break and then stormed down, and Nicky bunkered JC last minute. And I think he blew out his knee doing it, actually. But
oh gosh, I don't remember.
I think that was the time he jumped over the inside of the snake, ran the inside, and his knee buckled. He got him. We won, but not that was some cause. Man. But yeah, it was legendary, dude.
I just remember that was back when it was 7-man format, but there was still game time, and you played like best of 3 or something like that. But I do specifically remember getting we played maybe 4 or 5 overtime points, and it was the same 3 guys that we put out there. It was you, Bobby, and Nicky. Like, I mean, what a combination there. You know what I mean? Like, who would have thought that was our winning combination for 3-man 3-on-3s? But it was fun to watch. It was definitely nerve-wracking, but I was able to obviously celebrate in the pits with everybody, and just remember Nicky doing his "oh yeah" like celebration. You know how Nicky gets. But yeah, you guys shot Ryan Moorhead so quick on the break that he thought you guys cheated.
Yeah,
I remember because he started arguing during the point. I'm like, this is overtime for the tournament, and you're arguing. You got shot in the face. A step out of your bunker. It happens, man. Like, it was a good shot. And those fields were long and skinny. But yeah, what a blast. And then, we went from there to the next event was the PSP Chicago.
That one. So the PSP Chicago. I remember a couple things from that event. First is when we were playing the Russians in the finals, they had that diamond at the snake. And we had these super, super long points. And I was tucked up in a can on my knees. Like, my hips were in so much pain because I was tucked up so tight against it. But I remember everyone's getting low on paint. And I think it was like the last point before overtime again. And I looked, the Russian guy was like hanging out the tail end of the diamond all the way across the field, super little. You can see my shirt was off because I was exhausted. He was super little, and I got
a better picture for you then.
Oh God, I looked away from him. I came back and I literally shot one ball, and I went, "Holy shit!" And I looked. There he is leaving the field. I was like, I literally put one ball across the field. It might have been the best snapshot of my life to this day.
There were some one balls in that match against them that I'll never forget, and I didn't realize how clutch of a shot Drew Templeton had on Marcelo in the Dorito in that really, really, really long point when Marcelo filled down the Dorito and Drew shot his loader basically dry in like the last couple balls. He just went boop boop, shot two balls through the air. You can see it clear as day go through the air and hit him in the pack as
Yeah,
he's barely sliding in. And I was just like, whoa, that was huge, you know?
dude. It just
Um,
shows you it's meant
but
to be when it's meant to be.
yeah, and that was a close match. It was a grinder against the Russians. That was a very hot event. This is
That
we're hanging out trying to
was
cool
before the
off
finals.
before our next match. Yeah, exactly, before the
We were
finals.
dying. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man.
it was
Look at that.
Bobby threw up everywhere.
Yeah. There's some good photos of that. But dude, it was
Yeah.
hot. Like I remember in the actual overtime point not being able to hold my gun up. Like at one point I was fighting like internally just to keep my gun at my shoulder. And then when we Brad went down the field, he shot a couple guys and it finally opened up and Damien and I both took off running and I was kind of like tailing him. And I literally told him, I was like, keep shooting because I couldn't hold my gun up. So I just ran to their corner to draw the gun. I was like, I can't
Yeah.
shoot. I literally have to hip shoot right now. I was
It
so
was
tired.
we played a lot of points. And
Tons.
it was just a grinder. I remember I played a lot of up the center kind of that tournament, but then that really wasn't working against the Russians because they just were such good shooters on the break, like just
Mhm.
running out to spots. But we definitely had a lot of fun playing back to back events in Chicago, getting 2 wins. And I was gonna ask you, do you think that the 7-man format really helped us get that PSP win? Because that was our first win in a while. And I mean,
Absolutely.
I remember you telling me those were like the first couple wins that you really felt like you actually had a good hand in winning those events.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both wins for those events were in overtime. So that was pretty legendary. Both of
Mm-hmm.
them were I say they were my first US wins, and the reason I say that is because in 2008 I was on the winning roster for World Cup with the Ironman. But I got sat that entire tournament. And given I was like 17 and that team was filled with legends, including Nikki at the time. So it
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like this scar on my career, especially at the time. So to come back and win an event and feel like, man, I put it all out there. I played well. I contributed. Like we did it. That was, I mean, there's nothing like it. I got the Chicago trophy sitting right here on my shelf.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
That's where it went.
Oh, come on. It was my first US win ever.
Oh, trust me, the first win I got was a plaque, like a wooden plaque, and I was like, "No one's getting this. I'll
Yeah.
run away right now. I'm taking this with me." I remember Zach Wake was like, "Dude, it's my first win too. Like, can I get it?" I was like, "Sorry, man.
No.
Not happening." I called dibs, got it. So, um, yeah, no, that was crazy. It was a lot of fun, but I think that the 7-man format did like it really did help us kind of like come together and fill in some of those gaps of just the teamwork aspect and um, I think 10-man can do a lot of that same thing now for teams. It's a whole different game. When you need 10 dudes to be on the same page, it's hard. So when people complain about having 5 guys and can't get the game plan down, try having 10 dudes in the woods
Yeah.
where you can't even see the other side of the field, let alone hear them or even get like a feeling from them. You got to get it literally telephone all the way across. Um,
Yeah. And it's about
have
adapting
you?
to different paces is what I was going to say. You know what I mean? Like winning produces winning. Once you win, you build confidence, you start taking those extra bites confidently and you get better results because of it. But winning is the only way to get there. But
Yeah.
just like being able to change the pace of the game, because even in X ball now, the format changes. Like every second, it could be really fast, really slow. So playing those other formats kind of helps you adapt to those faster.
Yeah. Definitely, I agree. Have you been able to play any 10-man recently?
Um, well, the last one, not super recently, but since I joined the team, I I went into a practice with the 10-man Ironman and Northwest Rogue, and that was super fun. We went to a local field out here in California. It was my first effort at playing like straight woods ball 10-man. Frustrating, but fun.
Frustrating.
Frustrating.
It wasn't mechanical, was it?
Oh, it was.
Oh, it was.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
It was.
What was frustrating about it?
Well, it's practice. It's 10-man, and there's a lot of dudes cheating, man. Some of these older guys that are playing, like, we're practicing the Ironman, and I'd be like, "Hey, man, I didn't shoot you," and they're like, "No," and I'm like, "What's this? What's that right there?
What's that thing? What's that
Yeah.
thing?
Oh, I didn't know. Listen, man, if you don't know that I shot you in your lens and you've been playing this game for 20 years, I don't believe you. I don't believe you."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Isn't it fun?" I'm like, "Well, if you leave,
Yeah.
it's fun."
Yeah. I guess that would be pretty frustrating, but
Yeah.
sometimes you just kind of turn it off and you're just like, all right, I'll do the same then if that's what it's gonna take.
So I just started bunkering the
But
closest guy to me as often as possible.
that works. I will say, like, the gaps are so much like different. They're bigger, so you have those chances to, when you're staring at a guy and he's looking at you and he's trying to shoot you, but because it's mechanical and he can't catch up, it's a whole that you're like, oh, this is gonna be fun.
Oh shit!
So,
oh shit! Oh shit!
yeah, exactly. What in the video, I distinctly remember hearing Nikki's voice. I was gonna ask you, like, do you remember like playing with Nikki, and obviously he was on Ironman when you were on the Ironman for that win.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
so, like, what what was that what was that like? Because a lot of people see Nikki on the field and see him in videos, and they're like, man, that dude, he's got to be a hard guy to play with, just because he's got the big voice and he's very vocal and he has you know he's got a very big opinion sometimes, and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
who
just
he
wanted to
is.
see, if you could talk about that.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Nicky is elite in that manner because he has the ability to turn all of that stuff on and off. So when he's on the field, he is just a raging, like, beast, unstoppable, like, angry person. But he's a teddy bear face to face, especially if you're friends with him. So his big thing,
Yeah.
I think, when you played with him was if he respected you as a player, he was super accommodating. Like, what can I do for you? How can I help you? What do you need? But if he didn't think you were
Yeah.
good, he would walk all over you. Get out of my way. Get out of that spot. Sit. I don't care. Like, he was
Yeah.
all about the win. So if you could help him win, it was easy to play with him.
Yeah. Yeah. If he's like, it's not working, man. You're not hitting that guy. You're not shooting that shot.
I'll do it.
Listen, I told you to do this. I told you to do that. You weren't communicating. We're not working, man. Like, let's do something different. So I did really appreciate that about him. And, a lot of times people get a bad rap on the field and think that that's how they are off the field. Nicky's a great guy to hang out with, and he's a awesome teammate, like you said. So, a lot of people wish they could have been able to play with Nicky.
Yeah. And dude, at the end of the day, like, we're at a point where we're all dedicated to winning. So even if we're friends, if you're not helping win, I'm being a bad friend if I let you keep doing it. You know what I mean? And vice versa.
Yeah, there's Nicky right there. I just remember him always sticking his butt out right there, hogging the box.
Dude, he would take up so much space, and it was always at 2 seconds. He'd like stand tall and then just squat and take up 2 people space.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, dude.
Dude, why'd you miss that guy? Well, you bumped the crap out of me 5 seconds beforehand. I had to pick myself up off the ground. But Damien was also notorious at that too, so it looks like they were just getting along back there.
Oh yeah, and we were shooting 15 balls a second, so you needed all that paint.
Oh yeah, there's a clip of you guys right here too.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that looks about right.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, obviously, there's a lot of paintball stuff that we're missing, and you know, we had Ryan on the other day, and he's talking about like some of the guys going out and just doing a little like one-on-one stuff. But have you been able to really like play any paintball or even like get out and shoot any paint or anything?
Dude, nothing. So the fields around me are completely closed. I mean, I could call in a favor and maybe get some field space for an hour. And I think I'm at that point where I need a little gun time. Me and the cones,
Yeah.
just hanging
Do
out for a little
something, yeah.
while. Yeah, just doing something. Like, it's not that I don't feel sharp, because I think most of paintball is mental once you hit a certain point in your fundamentals. But
Yeah,
it's just I don't know, it feels good. It's like missing a workout.
definitely. Yeah, it's just, it's like the mental aspect of it where you're able to just kind of like tune out and focus on
Yeah.
working on part of the game that you love playing. And
I was
yeah,
thinking
man,
about
it
this
just
too. Like,
sucks.
yeah, this is literally the longest I've gone without playing paintball since I was 12. I'm
Dang, that's
30
a
years
long
old.
time.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever gone more than like 4 weekends in a year without
Yeah.
playing since I was 12. Like, what?
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about the 10,000 hour
Well,
rule. Put me in, coach.
the 10,000-hour rule.
Yeah, you ever heard that?
What is it?
So the 10,000 hour rule it says that you can't be a master of your craft until you've put in at least 10,000 hours. And there's the argument of, does that include time around it or time actually doing it? So we actually, last year, we sat down with a couple of players and tried to calculate this, and 10,000 hours is a lot. Like, if you start counting game time, even like when you're in the pits and still in the zone, 10,000 hours is like years, assuming you don't take any time off.
How many years did you guys kind of like estimate?
So surprisingly enough, a lot of the guys I played with last year were way under, less than half.
Really?
Because of how little they play at home.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So I did the calculation based on playing twice a week for 12 years or something, and then averaging 4 hours. So I've definitely played more than that, because I played on teams where I played 5 days a week for 2 weeks at a time. But even then, I was like scraping by at 10,000.
Yeah. Wow.
Wild,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. That's rough because for me personally, yeah, I've gone like ups and downs of playing a ton to not playing hardly, like just doing kind of like the bare minimum, just with life and different flows of life. But
Mhm.
then there were times where we were playing multiple times a week, playing for hours and hours and hours. Like we didn't have any kind of set timetable. We would just be sun up to sundown kind of thing. Um, for for a lot. So I don't know. It would take me a while to sit down and really calculate if I was at that mark, but that's a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah, and then we were also just talking about in general, like to be a master at a craft. We've put so much time into paintball that to do that in any other like area of life, think about just the years, not just like the hours, but like the years you've also spent playing the game too. So to get to that point in anything else, I mean, it takes a lot of work.
It's insane. This is something that I talk to people about all the time, because, like paintball, it's this obscure, the Ocho kind of sport to this day. And they're like, man, how could you put that kind of time in? Like, what sense does that make? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look, at the end of the day, when have you or anyone been the best at anything?
Right.
Especially on a global scale. And I'm not saying I'm number one, you know what I mean? But like in the top level of anything worldwide, like that's a pretty insane feat you look at the US league, there's 200 players out of the millions that play paintball.
Yep. Yeah. No, there's not a lot of people that have, and a lot of the players that have been playing that long are a lot of them are the same guys. There aren't a lot of new people that can make the jump, or if they do, they don't stay very long. So
Yeah.
um
That's a whole nother can of
when you
worms too.
oh yeah, for sure. Definitely agree with that. But so yeah, obviously, like we were just talking a little bit of history, with you and the team, and um, I mean, you left the team and you're dead to me, and now you're not. So, um, So coming back to the team, what is something that you think is like obviously different? The players are obviously different, but just like in general, going from then till now, uh, from you also had an outside perspective of not being on the team, and then now you're on the team again. So, how do you feel about
Uh,
that?
so the one thing that's really similar. So from when I was on the team and Todd was coaching to now with Travis coaching, one of the things that's really similar is both guys have at the times are really good at taking information from the players. Like, hey, here's an objective. Here's what I want to accomplish. Like, how can we make it happen best? And it kind of lets you bring out the best in yourself or in your job or whatever you're doing, because you get a
Mhm.
little more insight, a little more confidence behind like the call. So that part's been really
Right.
similar, which is awesome. Different. I don't want to say the younger guys. Different would be like when I was on the team last, I was the young guy, and everyone else had been in the league for a decade. So now coming
Yeah.
back, like I'm more of the veteran, and we have guys like Harrison, who's newer to the pro league, Cody Chong, who's younger, getting his feet under him. Same with Mike Waring. They're not the young dudes, but they're still newer to the league. So just playing a different role on the team um, is probably the biggest difference. But it's
Yeah.
still that same like smash mouth team.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I feel like we've changed a lot over the years, and there's been a lot of different, people coming and going, personalities, and playing styles. But the underlying factor has always been that kind of smash mouth style. Um, and then yeah, the sort of the same structure. I guess when Todd was the coach, it was he ran it a little bit different, right? Where he wanted to be, the voice, I don't know how to describe it besides like Travis is a little more hands off and wants to get all the opinions and then kind of like what you feel and what you think is going to work, and then he has the overall objective kind of scripted out in his head, but he's definitely a little bit more hands off.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Todd, even today, like I played for him a couple years ago, and he tries to have as much control of the first 30 seconds of the game as possible. And that's his mentality, right? And at the time, it
Mhm.
was easier for him because you could still coach from the sidelines.
Yeah. Wow, that was way different. Being able to yell
Oh
at
yeah,
your dude on the field. Yeah. Your voice would be dead just from screaming at a guy for yeah. Cool. Well, it kind of sucks because like I said, we played one event, and now it's like, okay, now we're gonna sit here and wait. But um, we had all these kind of new guys coming on with Harrison and you and Mike, trying to get the cohesive vibe going, which I felt like it was coming together. It didn't. Out of all the kind of like rebuilding type things, it didn't really feel like a rebuild or anything like that. It just we just needed to play more
yeah. It's just
on the
gonna
field
take time,
together.
but the nice part is everyone's in the same boat. You know what I mean? Like maybe there's some dudes
Right.
squeaking some points in along the way that live together. Because we don't.
Yeah.
But um, it's going to be just a short season for everybody. It's just a matter of it's like playing in the mud. Who can pretend they're not better? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Who can be less miserable in the bad situation to play better?
Yeah. I do you think that there are guys out like playing with
Oh, definitely,
getting guys together? You just don't really
definitely.
see it, or they're not talking about it.
Yeah. Hey, if we were all playing together, I wouldn't tell anybody. You know what I mean? Like that's just a great way to put
Maybe
a
we
target on your
are.
back and get called out. Maybe we are. The world may never know.
Um, yeah. I don't know how long it's gonna take till we can get back to regular practices and all that, but
We'll see.
I know
The
for
shelter in
sure.
place calls keep getting expanded or extended.
Yeah. Well, I'm in one of the only states that's not
Oh, what?
locked down completely. Yeah, they just kind of they're letting us take it into our own hands type of thing, but we have a lot less cases, a lot less people.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, I think you kind of just it's on your own shoulders anyways. Whether we were on a mandatory lockdown or not, we've pretty much have been in our house just because we want to be safe. Um, I'm the only one that's gone out to like the store or anything, and um, that's just to be safe. That's not to say I wouldn't go over to the paintball field or anything like that for a little bit, but um, just stand outside and get hit with a can of Lysol before I walk in the door.
Right.
So speaking of all that, with you're a personal trainer, you have your own gym, you had people coming in, working out, and you're doing more of the in-person type training, and now you're kind of moving over to the more the online platform, and um, you want to talk about that a little bit or get into
Sure.
there or
Sure. So the online platform thing. So realistically, like as a trainer, one of the things you realize is you can only work with so many people at a time. Group training gets really mundane because you can't really help people. You just kind of like give them a course and you motivate them through it, you know? So I've always been a
Mhm.
big fan of the one-on-one stuff, but there's only so many hours in a day. So the online platform, I've just constantly been looking for something that can be literally a personal trainer in your pocket. So part of it was having the content, part of it was having the platform to support it. So with your help, now I've had that platform where basically anyone, no matter what their goal, whether they want to be, paintball specific with their fitness, they need help with their nutrition so they can be more athletic. They just want to lose weight. They're just a soccer mom trying to pick up their kid, like whatever it is. I have the content and the workouts built to put into this app. And literally, you click it, it's going to give you updates. It gives you reminders. It walks you through everything. There's video tutorials for every single move that you do. And the best part of it for me or for the client as well is that everything is daily tracking. So like your meal plan pops up. It tells me what you had. I can help you edit through it. You'll be able to message me directly. Like there's no more emailing back and forth. It's all super, super intuitive and super interconnected so that it's literally like having a personal trainer on your phone.
Mhm. Yep. So you can do, like a yearly type thing or, a monthly type thing, but I think the biggest takeaway is obviously like you have a direct line to Greg. I mean, that's pretty cool. Um, and I mean, you sent me a while back, you sent me a paper to fill out or a, interview type thing to like get started. And obviously I'm like, man, this is a long list, Greg. Like, okay, this is a lot of stuff you want here. Now you have the online version, which literally you can just click through it, and it's a lot easier. It takes you like 30 seconds, a minute. I mean, and if you want to go into more detail with it, then then you can also do that because once you're on the app, you can get in touch with Greg pretty easy and he'll just, line you up. But, um,
Yeah. It's nice too,
it,
like what you just said. It's adjustable, right? So if someone's like, "Hey, man, I have 6 months. I want to be at this point. I need help. I need like someone to hold my hand through this." Then
mhm,
perfect, we can do that. We can lock stuff into a calendar so that you have some urgency behind, eating this much or getting this workout routine in when you probably really didn't want to. Or if you're like, hey, I just need some extra content, I need a little bit of guideline, want to make sure I'm doing stuff right, we can leave it open. I can put content onto someone's profile so that they can pick and choose what they want to do each day. And then I'm
mhm.
always there as a lifeline. So
Nice. It's pretty cool. I was gonna pull up this video of you doing this balance board. That looked pretty. I mean, it looked fun, but I also got to say, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely see myself busting my ass on the floor trying to do this.
Hey man, you got to make those 90-degree cuts on one foot. Sometimes a little bit of balance
All right, Pep
helps.
Training, are you ready to learn about a few pieces of
Yep,
equipment that you can
there you
make for
go.
your home gym? First up is the balance board. This is really thick
So
wood. Reason being is
this was a
pretty
video that
big,
I did
tight. You're
for a
gonna have
few pieces of equipment I have in my gym that are homemade.
Yeah,
Because a lot of people are like, oh, the stores are sold out. I can't get anything. That is literally
yeah,
plywood, and Home Depots worldwide are open. You know what I mean?
nice. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've played around on one of these type of boards, but it was not homemade. Um, and I gotta say it's fun. it definitely gets your core going, right? And you get competitive with it too. You're like, man, I want to see how long I can stay up on this. What
Oh,
is
for
this
sure.
one?
So this is just another balance board. This one's way safer. It's like a
Mm,
softball that you get at the batting cages, and then it's a round cut
hmm
piece of plywood. But obviously, you're way closer to the ground, and if you start to
hmm
tip, you can see like you just catch it on one side. So you
Yep.
can do more like active movements on this. Like you can squat, you can step on it, you can lunge, like all that different stuff without the potential of cracking your head open. So
That's always nice. Yeah.
yeah, so that one's a little bit more user friendly.
Yep. Yep. Cool. Well, oh, this looks sweet too. I saw you when you're doing the push up to try to like the balance part, and you're having trouble getting that in a row.
Dude, it's hard.
I It is hard. I do the one where like I can do it from the floor with like my lock my elbows in my knees.
Oh, nice.
And I got my 8-year-old son trying to do that, and he's getting it, but it's hard. And I feel like if you could get that control over your body, it definitely helps.
Yeah.
Um, with some of these moves. I'm by no means any yoga expert or anything like that. So,
That makes two of
um,
us. I know what I'm good at, but I'm not.
yeah, is this your ninja stick that you're gonna beat somebody up with?
My ninja stick. So that is literally a PVC pipe. It's a little bit flexible, so you can stretch more efficiently with it. Like you can see how I was bending it. When you activate
Mm,
muscles, the opposite muscle stretches. So it's like the best way to
mm,
get your body to stretch itself. And the other thing you can do with the PVC pipe is fill it with sand, dirt, rock, and then cap it off. And you have a weighted
nice.
bar just like you would get at the gym.
Oh, that's pretty smart idea.
Right? And then this was a duffel bag. So everyone has sandbags for sale. I literally grabbed the
Hmm.
duffel bag that I go to practice with. I filled it with tools, and then I wrapped it in snowboard pants, and I had a sandbag workout.
Nice.
Yeah. So people are
I
like,
was
"Oh, I have no equipment. I have no way to do it." You do. You just don't want to.
right. You just don't want to. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I mean, uh, you don't really think about these things until obviously you're stuck at home and you can't go to your gym. But like Greg's got all these um, different ideas he can throw out there. I mean, if you haven't been around Greg, you haven't seen his caffeine and passion is your slogan, right? So
Yeah.
it's like he's got this energy, he's ready to go. He's always ready to go. So if you're not feeling motivated, I think Greg will get you motivated pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
And
Just shoot me a message. I'll step
definitely
it
hit
up.
him up if you're looking to do any kind of training. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, test him. I dare you. Test him. See if he'll stump him. But I'm sure he'll find something for you to do. The online stuff is all set up, good to go, active for people to go hit you up on there. How can they get in contact with you about that kind of stuff besides just going to the website and then signing up?
So actually, if anyone really wants to do it, I've set up a code so that they can do a free 2 week trial with the app.
Mm,
So the free 2 week trial, you'll get to see the whole content. You'll get to download the app, get some auto placed like workouts that I've designed so that you can kind of see what it's all about. And then if you like it, we can keep going and I'll customize it all to fit, whatever needs you have, whether it's, goals, equipment restrictions, diet restrictions, whatever. But if anybody wants to try it, like actually give it a shot, just message me, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere. I'm on every single social media platform and I check my messages every day. So by all means, you can do that
nice.
or email me at trainwithmap@gmail. I answer everything and anything paintball and fitness related. So
And I think that's the key here. Obviously, we're a paintball team with a paintball channel. If you play paintball or want to be good at paintball and need to get your fitness game up, obviously Greg's been playing paintball for a long time at a very high level,
injury
and
free.
he's gonna get you. Yeah, knock on wood.
Knock on wood. I just did it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, definitely gotta take advantage of these kinds of things, and we're gonna get rolling here in a second. But real quick, I just wanted to get your opinion on my home workout that
Oh
my
yeah.
son has been doing.
What a
Check that out.
monster.
We
Oh,
got these
what?
school assignments, and they're getting us going. They're like, need to get you outside. So took some chalk, drew some
I like that one.
arrows, some jumping jacks,
Some
little
spins.
agility ladder, and then
He's quick.
repeat.
I love
Man,
everything
you
about
should
that.
have.
Can I hire him?
He's in.
I love it.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. You got to get creative out there. So we're even doing it over here
Yeah.
with the little ones. But I know you got to get rolling here. You got appointments and
More
classes to
training.
teach, more training. So thank you for jumping in and just talking about everything going on. And hopefully we'll get you on soon with the rest of the guys and get some more paintball talk going.
Yeah, I want in on the next happy hour.
Get in there. You never know who's going to show up for those. So
I love it.
definitely get in there for that. All right, man. Well,
Well,
thanks again.
thanks, guys. Yeah,
We're
hope
gonna
to hear from
sign
you guys.
off.
I'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Later.
Thanks, everybody. See you. Real quick before I jump off, I just want to let everybody know to make sure you go to our YouTube channel and like and subscribe to our page. We got a lot of content on there. We're going to get some more content going. So definitely check that out. I'm going to go back and look at some of the questions that you guys had and get in touch with you. Thanks again.